What's good with the YouTube of Convicts Perspective? It's your boy, Big Flacco, smashing, dashing, sliding on through, as always, with a little bit of energy, man. Let's get it cracking, people. I got my co-host, Big Senor Rojo. Not a little bit of energy. We got a whole lot today because we're going to be discussing the WACK 100 situation that keeps on continuing down this path, man, of craziness, man. I just watched the whole video about 10 minutes ago, hour and 6-minute video. It was on Clubhouse Urban Radio. And so we're going to be breaking it down, man. But for those who haven't watched the video, I'll give you a little bit of what I gathered from it. I mean, so in the beginning, you have a new individual on there. You have the rapper Thresh from Compton. You have a OG, Damu, named Popeye. And apparently he's an influential Damu, done a lot of time. I think he even may be incarcerated at the time of this video. I'm not too sure. But he starts going in and letting people know that WACK 100 basically doesn't speak for the Damus in general, or the street politics and stuff like that, right? And further went in to give examples, man. And see, when I was watching this video, the trippy part about it, right, is when you had other people put their input in later on, they totally misinterpreted or twisted up everything that he said. They kind of spit the narrative, And it was nothing but chaos on the whole thing, bro. Literally, Rojo, it was chaos, man. So he goes in saying that, you know what? If we're going to be talking prison politics and stuff like that, if you conduct yourself, he goes, I agree with what WACK 100 said. There's been conflict. There's been war. We're segregated behind the walls. It's always been like that, right? But the magnitude of respect and disrespect can cause casualties, is what he said. He goes, if you're in prison and your particular group as a black man, a Damu, a Crip, whatever it may be, Norteño, Sureño, if you get out of line with any particular group, making any type of racial overtones of disrespect, if you're a big homie, if you're in a leadership position of any of those groups, including his group, you're going to go by any means necessary to either deal with that individual or give him some type of form of discipline, right? We all know, I've done a video on prison politics. That's how it works. You do not disrespect any other group faction, because what ends up happening is that group's going to tell you either you guys deal with it or we're going to deal with you. That's how prison politics play. And so that was the example he was given. He wasn't talking about not signing the dude or this and that. As you're going to see from our breakdown, things started to get twisted up. So WACK 100 here's this conversation. So WACK 100, here's the conversation. So he decides to jump into the matter, right? And so further, this is what happens. He goes, you're speaking on Damu politics. You can get at me, blood. And so he was, man, one thing about WACK 100, man, is he doesn't give anybody a chance to speak. He interrupts people. He's aggressive. He antagonizes the situation. He's almost like, he reminds me of a bipolar individual. There's something he doesn't like. The narrative's going that way. Something triggers, and he doesn't think about what he says. And for someone who's done prison time years ago, you would think that you would have enough conditioning and discipline to understand the dynamics of street politics and prison politics and proper behavior, right? So they go in and get to it, and the OG's trying to tell him, man, like, hold on, I'm trying to give you an example. We're not talking Damu politics. We're talking in general. And so that was a big issue of the conflict that was going on for a minute, man. And then finally, WACK 100 starts to go into it, right? And he kind of toned down the racial overtones, right? He wasn't too racial this time. He was aggressive. He was hostile. He was, a little bit angry, emotional, and all that, right? But he, I'll give him this. His points were well taken. I agree with him. What he was basically saying was, look, the reason why I won't mess with no Southsiders, right, is because of their big homies, and I know it comes with it politically. It's not in my best interest to sign them, because as soon as I put them on, they start to benefit, they start to making money, their big homies are going to come knocking on the door. I totally agree with that. But the thing is in both videos, the first one was, we're not fucking with each other because of politics. There's war out here on the streets. Now it's because of the big homies. What is it, WACK? What is the situation? Now, further in the conversation that was going, bro, you had one individual, right, bring up something along the lines of, what was it? It wasn't street politics, but it was more along the lines of, females started to chime in. They started to put their 2 cents in the matter. Ooh. Females started to put their 2 cents in. I guess his niece was on the show. She went and turned around and told WACK 100 what Popeye was saying. but she kind of misconstrued everything he said. So here she was calling her a spy basically in there, right? You started having females jump in the mix, right? His niece was one of them. So WACK 100 was defending his niece. Well, that's my niece, blood, whoa, whoa, whoa. So then some other female jumped in and said, man, you're not even giving him 2 cents Popeye to even discuss. Next thing you know, WACK 100 starts going off on her. You know what I mean? Then WACK 100 wants to sit there and say, oh, this is gang business, street politics, whatever, however he presented it, right? No female supposed to be in any of that business, but he just contradicted himself because he was allowing his niece to be put in the same damn situation. So then you had a back and forth. I mean, Threats was in there for a minute, and he tried to explain that, you know what, you made a racial remark. Everybody knows the racial remark. You know what I'm saying? Go start your Chile con Papas channel, and there was other people talking about the high socks and the, you know, what was it, the corn chip feet and all that kind of stuff, bro. We all heard it. And I think that what people don't realize, and what WACK doesn't realize, is that's the only issue that people have with the statements he made. You know, he's just an aggressive person. He just likes to antagonize the situation. He likes to hear himself speak. He likes to overtalk everybody. He's kind of like a bully on social media, if that makes sense. Because you can sit there and present a situation, and instead of him taking it for what it is, he's going to try to spin that narrative into something totally different. He'll say one thing, and then he'll do the same thing that he just said that he wasn't doing.
The one thing I've always, excuse me, realized in life, man, is the louder the person talking, the more boisterous, the more interrupting, the more bullying type, are the ones that feel uncomfortable with their own part, their own role in any given situation. You know, I've been in a lot of places, man, where people will be loud and seem like they're aggressive. And I'm not saying this is the case with this guy or not. This is just based on experience. The loudest person in the room usually isn't the toughest person in the room. Now, this has nothing to do with him, but in my experience, man, the people who tend to get loud, overtalk other people, it's either 1, a bully complex, or 2, lack of confidence. 3, uncomfort in their ability to assess and participate in whatever situation's in front of them. With that being said, I don't know where he fits into one of those, but whatever. Maybe he's just a bully. I don't know.
You know, like people were talking on there, right? They're like, well, you know, this is like everybody's jumping in this mix. They're talking about it. Well, when you have a public platform and you're discussing this stuff, right? You subject yourself for people to critique what you say. And when you say things that are controversial, right, they have an adverse effect into the community, into social media, into all these platforms. Of course, you're going to have people that are going to come at you with it, man. The bottom line is you were wrong for the comments that you made. Period.
Why
you know, it's up to him as an individual, you know, as a grown man. He knows what he said. And it seems like his ego gets in the way. He was denying that he made any racial remarks in this last video.
Mm-hmm.
Right? No, literally. He was saying, then he accused Tres of, see, this is how bad he is, right? Me, you, we push prison politics. We push street politics on the highest level. We were holding leadership positions. You get what I'm saying? We dealt with people like Crips, BGF, Kumi Cats, Sureños, Eme, right? So we can analyze information and process it for what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because we were put in positions to make decisions or to file reports that had to be accurate, because if it wasn't accurate, it would be our fucking ass. So when I'm hearing him talk and I'm seeing the contradictions, you know what I mean? You know, apparently you were never in no leadership position. You may have been in the mix, you may have been in the trenches, you may be in the belly of the beast. We've all been there. But as far as on a political level, street politics, prison politics level, you're doing a lot of things that are contradicting. You're saying one thing, but then this is something different than what's coming out. You get what I'm saying? And you had a lot of other people on both sides. Even this other brother that was on there was like, man, you made that comment. I heard the comment. And he was denying that he even made any of these comments. You know what I'm saying? And so for him, man, I don't know, he's trying to hold his mug and hold his face like he's done no wrong. Maybe that ego is just a little bit too big for himself, man. But I think, man, you owe the Raza an apology. If you don't like the Southsiders, that's your prerogative. I respect that. If you don't want to sign us Southsiders for all those reasons you disclosed, I support that. I believe that. I think you're in the right over that. I have no argument there. But those remarks that went from Southsiders to a Mexican culture heritage people, that's where you crossed the line.
Yeah, what I don't get, bro, is he is he still claiming to be an active gang member? Have you caught
Yeah,
that
but
anywhere?
he's like, man, Damu, he goes on, I mean, he's talking like this, Damu business, this is Damu business. Well, bro, you're talking prison business and street business on fucking the airways. So what the fuck's the difference if your Damu homeboy's talking to your
Right.
Damu homeboy is trying to address it to try to suppress any type of hostilities that could occur on the streets because of your fucking actions. That's why he's on that platform. I don't think the man wants to be on a platform talking about street politics, prison politics, about Southsiders, this and that. But because of your actions, WACK 100, there's a lot of disgruntled individuals out there, mainly of Mexican descent, mainly of Southsiders, you know what I mean? And there has been a lot of repaired relationships along the lines. Yeah, there's going to be folks. I mean, half the Southsiders don't even get along down south, man. That's fucking the reality of it. Bloods don't get along with Bloods sometimes. Crips don't get along with Crips. But when you present this and it becomes a racial narrative because of your dislike for Southsiders, now you got the whole United States, all Mexican descent that are on your fucking helmet, bro. You know what I mean? If any raza, Puerto Rican, Latinos, any of these groups made any derogatory remarks towards him because they didn't like him, I guarantee you every black faction, even the ones that are warring with each other, are going to come to the defense of him, point blank. And so far, you have like that one little rap diss track and shit, man. That was you know, the South Side said at the end, I'm pushing that black and brown unity. You know what I'm saying? That was a positive message. He has a responsibility. He's not taking any responsibility in his actions. He's loose at the fucking lips. You know what I mean? Running his mouth about Nipsey Hussle, all these other different cats. I mean, there comes a time when, yeah, I get it. Everybody's chasing that bag. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But you still have a responsibility, Matt, in your actions, and people are going to see it for what it is. And if something that you say, people believe that you represent on behalf of everybody else, man. You know, Thresh was in there again, man. And I guess him and that dude Popeye and their folks are going to be talking about. I guess this dude Popeye is a you know, a well-respected Damu, was in the system for a while, or he's still in the system. So we'll see where it goes from there. But people don't understand though. You hold these conversations, you're going to have people all throughout YouTube making videos to make these discussions about this subject.
You know what I find, okay, I'm gonna say it like this, man. The brothers, Crips, Bloods, whoever, their politics are different than ours. They're different than the Sereños. They are not anywhere near as serious about politicking. They have a lot laxer expectations and responsibilities. Now, North or South, if you make a channel talking about politics or whatever, you're non-political anymore. You hung your cleats up at the door with the microphone and the headset. That's all there is to it. I don't see in any way how this gentleman could still be talking about active politics and what he can and can't do with one group and this other group when he interviewed Tekashi 6ix9ine, bro.
Yeah.
That should have been the end of anybody's whole mix in politics, in my opinion. You know, that dude that he interviewed told on his own people, other Bloods, other people, you know, maybe they're distant relative Bloods, you know, second generation, family tree way down the line, but it's Bloods nonetheless. And I don't think with any group in that situation, after associating with an individual like that on a amicable level, working together, that you still have any kind of say-so about active politics.
Yeah, they made the remarks too,
we
right?
talk about politics, but we talk about it, we know that we're no longer involved. We don't present like, oh, I can't do this with you because of these politics. You're not political no more, bro. You threw that career away.
Yeah.
That career you're no longer active in real life, bro.
Either you choose to be a civilian or you choose to be a criminal.
He's a civilian entertainer, Hollywood individual that's living in a lie, bro. Come on. The big homies down south. You know what? Why are you even talking about big homies down south?
That's how they operate, bro.
You're not involved in that no more, bro.
But Rojo, I disagree with you on that because that's how they operate. They accept it down there. That's their politics. They allow it. That's upon them to deal with. You know what I mean? That's not North Daniel politics or Sudanio politics. That's blood politics. That's Crip politics. That's their issue to deal with. Now, if it was a North Daniel or Sudanio, the motherfucker get his head chopped up for some shit like that.
We're talking
Point blank.
Hashi 6ix9ine though, bro.
They're allowing it, bro. You know what I mean?
Hey,
you know what I mean?
Different.
You know, I mean, it makes it worse.
Nothing he says from that point on about any kind of political stuff can hold water with me anymore.
Oh yeah, true. Especially when it's your
you
own
just
time.
got on there and says, "Hey, yo, listen, I'm a civilian now. I used to be a Pyru, this or that." Okay, by all means, I'll listen to what you say. But when you're pretending that you're still about that action after that, I don't care what group you're from, dude. In my opinion, that's just me. You know, I mean, that's going too far, bro.
Yeah. You know, the other parts of the interview, because I know you didn't get to catch the whole. You know, there's other parts of the interview you didn't get to catch. They were accusing Southsiders, and that Southsiders are allowed to tell on blacks and this and that, man. And you know what I mean? You know, to each their own, have their own experiences, man. There's a lot of allegations, a lot of accusations. And the thing with this individual, right, is I think, man, that he gets so hot-headed that he fucking says shit and he doesn't realize the shit he says. And he comes back and he contradicts himself, man. You know what I mean?
He says things in the heat of the moment that
in the heat. But I'm listening to this thing, right? And I'm listening to like some, you know, the females and other dudes, right? And I'm thinking in my head, like, what you're saying that you heard is not what I just heard. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem with social media. People like us, bro, we've been in the mix. We had to make decisions. We had to make reports. We had to do all that fucking shit. There could not be no inaccuracies in anything. It had to be who, what, where, when, why. Not what I think I heard.
Yeah, no.
Not how I want to interpret it.
Yeah.
So I'm listening to these people that are chiming in, right, that are jumping in the conversation, and they're saying shit that one person said, and this person said, and that person said, and it's all misconstrued from what I actually fucking heard. You know what I'm saying? That's how rumors happen. That's how propaganda gets pushed out there. That's how you have all this fucking BS on social media, is because you got individuals who've never lived in that life, right? Who maybe they're street cat, maybe they're with that stuff. There's a little bit of difference in the streets. The streets is treacherous, cutthroat, man. There's no fucking pushing no real hardcore prison politics where people's lives are on the line. Street politics, yeah, lives are on the lines, but you're not being held to a higher regard by a higher authority usually. Yeah. Within that group. You get what I'm saying? So you may be in the streets doing your hustle or whatnot, man, but you've never been in a prison yard. You've never been, I'm not saying that WACK 100 has, but these other people, these females, you know what I mean? Oh, he's in violation. I'm hearing all this fucking shit. I'm like, man, I'm hearing all this shit, man. I'm thinking ahead. I did not hear that in this video. I heard something totally different than what these people are trying to say. So what I'm trying to get at, right, is people want to spin the narrative in what they hear and who they want to support. Because when this OG came on there, man, you could tell he'd been around. You could tell he's about that action. You could tell he's respectful. You could tell he has discipline. Totally. Right? He refrained from everything that he said was pretty much spot on. I get WACK 100's little issue about him speaking on him on the public platform, but I think this individual felt like, man, there's a whole bigger conflict here, man. And WACK 100 is a centerpiece of it. Let me jump on here and try to rectify this, man. Right. You know, we get it down south, man. Brothers and Sudanos have been going at it. Sudanos have been going at it. Brothers and brothers have been going at it. That's street shit. Don't let it become racial. Yeah. You know, we know what time it is. You know what I mean?
That's just like we've reiterated on the last time that he did a video, man. It's one individual, you know, that has an opinion. That'd be like if I was up here saying something derogatory about Bulldogs. Well, that's just my opinion. That doesn't reflect everybody. And I got respect for the Bulldogs. I just use you guys as an example. You know, it shouldn't turn into anything more than it is. If somebody's got a problem with that dude, address it with that dude, because I guarantee at the end of the day, the Bloods, the Crips, who've been on them level 3s and them level 4s that understand real politics, not these improvised politics, they're not with none of that stuff that was said, because not only would they not say it on a level 3 or 4 yard, the Sureños wouldn't say that stuff either, bro.
You know,
nobody will say that stuff. It's all about action, bro.
I'm gonna give an honest perspective right here, Rojo, and I hope I don't offend anybody when I say it. So I'm gonna be careful in how I present it. So those that were on that panel, the way that they talk to each other, and they're supposed to be cool with each other, was borderline disrespectful, if that makes sense. The action and tone and some of the remarks and comments back. The one thing that WACK 100 said that was fucking funny was, "What, you want me to sign an Aryan Nation member next?" I was fucking laughing my ass off at that. But hey, WACK 100, hey, he was right on that, man. And he doesn't have to sign anybody or explain anybody. He did say this: if the Southsiders want, if there's a Southsider that got money, they're going to back with their own money, and they want me to help them make the calls and got in the right direction, and it's going to financially benefit me, I'll fuck with him. He said that secludes him from having to be involved with any Southsiders in their politics as far as their big homies. He's worried about the big homies, man. It's the same thing with the situation happened with that MC club from down south when we were going to interview the president. He was concerned. Who was he concerned about? The big homies down that way. Same thing with him. So I kind of understand and respect that part. But
I got a positive point right here. If you read between the lines on that, if you look really deep into that statement about the concern with the big homies, it's a way of showing them respect as well.
Yeah. Well, he said, he goes, ain't nobody could tell me any different. I start getting them, they shine on, they're going to come in, they're going to interrupt everything I got going. So I'm not going to invest no time because street. I agree with that. He should have said that everything in the beginning. But when I hear how they talk to each other a little bit in this group, right? There's a few that were very respectful. It's hard to tell who's who. There's people from Chicago. Like one dude was from Chicago. He goes, man, what's that group in Chicago? Blackstones?
I believe so. Pea Stones, something like that. Black Pea Stones.
Yeah. Okay. Well, he's like, man, we're cousins. We're cousins to the Latin Kings. He goes, we fuck with Latin Kings.
Yeah, they're not playing. That's a very, very, very old, established, respected group right there.
You know what I'm saying? So there was people that were chiming in. There was other people too that wanted to push that racial overtone stuff. It's like, man, and you had so many people from different places with different experiences, man. But you had a couple people that actually were calling WACK 100 on his shit, saying, you know what, you did make those remarks, bro. That's where you're wrong.
We all heard
WACK 100 kept on saying, yeah, WACK 100 kept on saying, what did I say? What did I say? You know what I mean? And then when the dude told him what he said, he tried to act like he didn't say it. You know what I mean? I don't know if he's that bipolar that fucking he says shit, doesn't remember. And so if you kind of listen to this time, right? I seen a whole different side, and I looked up some other videos. I see him where a white guy, a salesman comes to his fucking door and he fucking snaps on the dude. The dude just has a fucking trigger in his ass that anybody comes, he just fucking if you're not fucking with him, he explodes on you. And I think he doesn't even understand his own fucking actions. And that could come from years of being away from prison, being able to elevate to who he was and who he became. You know what I mean? As far as in the music industry, you know, there's a whole lot of things to look at, man. Tress was on there, he cut out. You know what I'm saying? Then you had some.
What did he have to say? What did Tress have to say?
He just said that his main issue was those racial overtones. He goes, you made those racial overtones. You said you know what I mean? You know, he goes, you don't have to sign me. He goes, all right. He goes, you know what I mean? You know, there's been a couple people that have felt that Tress kind of pushed that envelope a little too far. Maybe he did. Maybe he should have just let it be and just get off and keep it moving. But that's his decision as a man. Yeah. He never disrespected homeboy, or he never disrespected any racial overtones is what I'm getting at. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, and even that old school Damu told him, you know, gave Tress respect. He goes, you had a lot of discipline in that situation because if it was me, I probably would have fucking reacted a whole lot different. This came from my Damu to him. Right. You know, so it was interesting, bro.
What do they call him? Popeye? Was that his name?
Popeye, yeah. Yeah,
Shout out to Popeye for handling it like a G. Interesting. Yeah, bro. The thing that bothers me, bro, is if the shoe was on the other foot and Tress made some statements, you know, about, you know, what a particular culture may or may not eat. You know, and I've said this before, bro. This shit would it would melt the internet, bro. You know, if he said some stereotypical remarks, you know, about what another ethnic group eats, especially one that has kind of a bad history, bro, every rapper in the world would be like, F that dude this and F that dude that, and how could he say this, that's racist and this and that. And Tress didn't even bite into that shit, bro. He kept it moving.
Bro, hey.
That would have been hard for me too. I'd have been like, what?
Hey, bro.
Beep, 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 beep.
Bro, this was such a heated conversation, bro. that you couldn't hear it, but they were yelling at each other. A couple people went off. It was fucking crazy, bro. Like, and so I mean, the way they talk to each other, they're supposed to be like cool, like, you know what I mean, rock with each other. Maybe his remarks towards fucking Tres was just the way he fucking thinks he can talk. I mean, that's
Some
how he was
people
talking to
don't find
everybody else, bro.
offense in certain humor, brother. You know what I mean? Like something
Yeah.
me and you might find funny, and I promise you, I got a really deviant, messed up. People probably think something's wrong with me, sense of humor, and you get a taste of it a little bit on the lives. But I promise you, I keep it really clean compared to the things I think. We could offend everybody in the room, and me and you and Gunner will be having to cry and hold each other to stand up because we find it so humorous. And Karen's over there calling the police on us. You know what I mean? Could it have been like he thought it was kind of a funny joke, and he just didn't realize that, you know, there was
I
this
think it
who
would.
knows, bro? I don't know. But just with that history, it automatically makes you think it was a shot. Period.
Well, people are. What he needs to realize is that people are offended by it. That's the only thing.
He should issue an apology, straight up.
People are offended by it, regardless of what you felt, or if you didn't mean no race. Maybe he didn't mean it in a racial overtone. Maybe he does, and he doesn't want to admit that. You know what I mean?
If I tell you something and you're offended and I think it's funny, I'm gonna laugh. And then when I see that, when you got that look on your face like you got right now, later on I'll be like, hey, Flacco, my bad. I thought it was funny, brother.
Yeah.
Straight up. You know, me and you clown on each other all the time. And sometimes I'll be like, in my head, what did he just say? And I know you do the same thing, like, hey, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? But you know, we're boys, so it's different. We don't have 30 years of animosity between our respective groups or nothing like that.
But at the same time, too, what he fails to realize is this is being said all on the airwaves.
Public platform, man.
This is a public platform. So
a lot of people who have no idea about their history and their politics and none of that, just hear that and they're like,
bro, hey, one dude was on there dry snitching on himself, bro, so fucking bad, bro. He goes, yeah, I fuck with the messages. Now I used to get the package and mail that shit out. I'm not even lying, bro. I've been to, you know what I mean? You know, there was a couple dudes that tried to jump in.
Essays too.
There's a couple dudes that tried to jump in there, right, and show support for Tres. And then there was a couple people that were blaming Tres, saying that this is what Tres wanted, that he wanted to cause a big old division and attention on himself, bro, to push his own narrative. There was a couple, I mean, hey, nothing wrong with that if that's the case, but I don't think that was the push. But I mean, everybody's trying to get it back if you're on the public platform. That's
I'm going to tell you this. No matter whose feelings are hurt behind this, no matter what was intended, what was not intended, this has brought massive amounts of publicity to not only WACK, but the Big Tres as well. So is it good at the end of the day for those individuals? Yeah. If there's a problem, it's a problem with the individual, though. You know, like what did the OG Popeye said? He doesn't speak for all Damus or something like that. What was something along those lines?
He said something along the lines that he doesn't. He goes, when I speak, I can speak. He said straight up, and if I'm not mistaken, bro, I think it was I can speak for the Damus.
Okay.
Hey, I think you know what I mean.
Shout out to Popeye. But what I'm like what I'm saying is though, like me and you and Gunner, we're homeboys. We're like this. Now, if I get on here and just say something stupid, just because y'all are my boys, you guys don't share that opinion. It's one individual running his mouth that he knows damn well whether or not he meant to offend people, people got offended. You got a big platform. Don't alienate your audience. Don't build on any tensions that you may have not wanted to build on. You may have been playing. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, he was. Hey, well,
apologize. Say, hey, man, if that came out wrong, I was trying to clown with the old boy. My bad. When we have problems, it's political, it's not racial. I didn't mean to offend anyone. That's what a man would do.
Yeah, he also said that he's seen Capone like a week before, like, you know what I mean? And the dude was telling him, like, Capone did not say anything bad about you, which I didn't hear the Capone interview. Yeah. But he said Capone actually said that he agreed with much of what you said. It's the racial thing that you said. That's what everybody has a problem with, man. Like,
there's nothing wrong with saying things about business, bro. It's WACK's business. If he feels that would be bad for his business, he has all right to say that without disrespecting nobody, because if you disrespect people, people will want to run that. When you get into that other stuff, though, cultural, heritage, ethnicity, there's no place for that in today's society. The cancel culture will look for you. And when you get into it with gangsters, they'll cancel you. I'm not saying that as the Serenios or the big homies down there are going to go cancel that dude, but it starts to bring big problems.
Not only that, Rojo, this is what people aren't talking about, right? If you're not being part of the solution, don't be part of the problem.
Yeah,
I mean, it's 2022 almost, bro. I mean, it's time to. I mean, there's been slight changes. You're starting to see, like, you know, that one rapper that was from Ontario. You know what I mean? That took shots at WACK, but said, you know, I'm pushing that black and brown. You know what I mean? You had a couple. I seen the song with a couple cats from out that way. They did collabs. So there's a little bit of changes, man. You know what I mean? And there's always been. Then gangs don't get along with the fucking neighborhoods right next to their block.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just the life down there, man. You know, the only thing that could help any type of division and dissension in any of these matters in race relationships is when everybody can prosper this way. You know what I mean? If everybody had a little bit more support and a positive push for each other, you know what I'm saying? Whatever racial lines you come from, everybody can get money, everybody could be supportive, and you'd have a lot less violence and issues out there in the streets.
I'm going to do today's word of the day. It won't be a lesson of the day, it'll be a word. We were stressed, this word right there with the most stressed concepts that we got stressed. And our politics are the hardest politics. There's no question, everybody knows it. The word of the day is professionalism. Exercise professionalism when you're in that gangster lifestyle. Failure to do so results in consequences. Will there be consequences? Hopefully not. I don't hope violence on nobody. I don't think it's, hey, just don't mess with that dude if you ain't feeling him. It ain't that serious. But in this lifestyle, your conduct is everything. It reflects not only on you, but also who you represent. Whether that's fair or not, who am I to judge? But that is the facts. If we're in prison and another group gets smart with us, it's on with that group. It's on with the whole group. Let's not let this happen out here. But you can avoid all that by being professional, by conducting yourself like a G. I'm no longer a G, but I will learn you how to conduct yourself like a G. I promise you that. Anyway, YouTube, man, hopefully we don't got to come around here and talk about this again, man, because let's just not keep adding fuel to the fire. But we felt we had to address this because it doesn't seem like the individual realizes the things he said were offensive and pretending like he didn't say them even.
Maybe he does, bro. Maybe he does.
It's all on the internet what he said. Chili con papas. Chili con papas. Bling, bling. You know where I stand. Anyway, all right, YouTube, it's your boy Rojo, Big Flacco. Everybody, hey, what did Rodney King say? Can't we just get along? Let's try to get along. Everybody get that bag. There's plenty of bag for everybody. Stay in your lane. Be respectful of others, especially those that aren't yours, because that's what generates problems, man. Happy holidays. Be at you guys later on the live. Keep it positive.